Times bestseller, as our company and our agents took it up a notch, outpacing the market and proving that the market doesn't dictate whether or not we succeed. It only tells us how we're going to succeed. We launched the luxury homes division, which extended our reach into that segment of the market. We created Keller Williams Commercial, which is now the fastest growing commercial real estate company in North America. Pursuing our dream to bring the Keller Williams opportunity to the world, we opened Keller Williams Worldwide and have laid the groundwork for overseas expansion. Ensuring that our associates have what it takes to serve their clients and run their businesses with technological tools that are unmatched in the industry, we responded to the insights of the most tech-savvy associates among us and developed Edge, one paperless loop for lead management, contact management, marketing, and transaction management. We're not a company that sits still. And it's all because Keller Williams Realty is in the hands of smart, determined, forward-thinking agents such as you. We're here to serve you. And we're very proud to be in business with you. I'm so glad you decided to join us on this unbelievable ride.
Okay, so that's 2011. So I get to share what's changed since then. I'm waiting for them to put another segment of Gary where he looks even older. He's like 62 now. And have him share what's been going on recently. So,
that's about 8 years ago.
Yeah, I get to fill in the gaps. Okay, there we go. So just an overview of that video. Basically, Keller Williams started 36 years ago with Gary Keller and Joe Williams. Gary has always been the residential side of our company, and Joe has always been on the commercial side of the company. Gary was definitely the original CEO. He's the chairman. He is a current CEO. He has stepped back into the CEO role because of all the technology changes that have been happening that he's been working on, the main person working on. So I get to talk to you about all of that. They started the company with the idea that we wanted to put agents first. Most traditional real estate companies, the company first, the agent is secondary. And so, again, like he said, he met with his top favorite agents and said, what do I got to do to create a company where you're getting all your needs met and we in turn are getting our needs met as owners? The second question, which he doesn't say in the video, is he also said, and what do I got to do to create a company that you would never leave? His whole idea is he wants to invest in his agents, and once doing that investment, he wants you to stick around. He doesn't want you to then leave. You know, after 5 years of investment, I'm going to go do something else. So how can I create a company that you never leave? So what you found in that video, the points are, is that we're an agent-run, agent-centric company with an open books policy. We teach you how to become a business owner, and by doing that, we have to share our books with you to show you how we're running our business. Okay? We have a unique capping structure where you can pretty easily get to 100% commissions every year. We provide training, coaching, and consulting to help you make better business decisions. You will always own your business, your leads, and your clients. We would never take your people away from you once you walk out the door if you decided to leave. That's one of our policies. And that is definitely different with other companies where they keep your book of business with them. You can still reach out to those people, but they're reaching out to them too. We have a your listings, your lead policy. So if you have a listing in our office and we get a phone call on that listing, we give you that lead. We don't hand it off to anyone else. If you're focusing on the listing agent and it's a buyer lead and you don't want to represent both sides, you can then choose to hand that lead off to someone else in the office and collect a referral fee for it. We have over 178,000 agents across the world, which gives us the best referral network out there. We maintain an active involvement in our communities. Through our division, the third division we have is KW Cares in our company. KW Cares has a twofold mission. One of it is to maintain active involvement in our communities. We do different community service things throughout the year. And then the other part of KW Cares is we actually take care of our own agents in times of need as well. So I'm going to go over that in a little bit more later. We're a system-based company with proven business models that we teach. You see some different charts and stuff up there on the wall. I keep the stuff that I go over and over again when I'm teaching stuff up because there's some certain systems and models that we use over and over again. So those are some examples. Gary talked about some different books that he's helped write. We teach from those books a lot. We have been named by Training Magazine as the #1 training company over all business industries so many times that they have now put us in their Hall of Fame. They said, we're going to stop giving you the award because you keep winning And then we're also a company that profit shares. Many businesses out there profit share. We happen to be a real estate company that profit shares. Our owners at the end of every month share back it's actually 48% of the profits with those agents who have helped grow the office. So those are the main highlights. Last year we were actually named by Forbes magazine as the happiest place to work over all business industries, which just blows my mind that a real estate company got happiest place to work. Company number 2 was Nike. So we beat out all business industries. What that says to me is our agents are happy, which means their clients are happy. This is a diagram that shows you as we've grown in agent count over the years. We became largest real estate company in the world in agent count about 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. And when you are the largest in agent count, would you agree you should sell the most real estate? Yes? Okay. So this is showing how the commissions earned has grown over the years. We became number 1 in agent count about 3 years ago. About a year after that, we became number 1 in units sold and volume sold in North America. You can't really say that you're number 1 in the world on units and volume because every country reports differently, so you'd be making that up if you said the whole world. U.S. and Canada were pretty confident in that. Now I'm going to talk about the parts that are our biggest value proposition that sets us apart from other companies, so education, technology, culture, and wealth building. Education, like I mentioned, we have Keller Williams University. What's great about our education is that we have education for you no matter where you are in your career. From brand new all the way up to what we call mega agents that are doing 50 to 100 to 500 deals a year. We have agents in our company who do over 1,000 deals a year, and they, of course, have a team to do that, and we've helped them grow to get there. So we have different courses that we teach throughout the year. I know some of you have a training calendar, and I will make sure you guys all get one before you leave. Our training calendar is different every month, and there's different classes that we're teaching, and we sit down with you and work out a plan for where you need to grow, and then we guide you to those classes. So it's not like you have to take every single class that's out there. The one that I'll talk about today is Ignite. That is what I would call our flagship course for new agents. We teach Ignite 3 to 4 times a year here, basically quarterly. We teach it here in this room live, and we have one of the cool things about KW is that our top agents teach. I'm in front of you a lot, and all the other top agents in this office are in front of you as well. So you get to learn from a lot of agents. That, to me, was a big difference that I saw from this company versus other companies that I was at prior. Most companies, you ask the top agents that they'll teach how they do their listing presentation. We want to learn from you. You're really good at it. We want to learn. That they're very much, if I share my secrets with you, you'll become better than me and steal my clients. So it's definitely a frenemy business. That's what I call it, because you are in competition with each other. So at a certain level, if you two are both writing an offer on the same property, there's certain things you can't talk to each other about. Does that make sense? What we've discovered at Keller Williams, though, is that by teaching everyone how to get better at what they're doing, we gain more market share in the market, and we all make more money. So our top agents definitely pour into everybody. It's a very open environment where you can ask a lot of questions. And we have amazing mentoring and coaching as well. So Ignite would be the first class that we're going to push you to take, and we recommend you take it more than once, because you're going to learn differently as you're going along. This is what I'll tell you about Ignite. So I had mentioned to you the background in education and that sort of thing. When I started teaching Ignite, and so I'm already 14 or so years into the business, and I start teaching Ignite, I was blown away by this course. I was like, wait a minute. They have a course that they teach all over the company, that Keller Williams University updates every 6 months to make sure it's current. And the stuff they're teaching in that course, I had to make up on my own when I started in real estate because I didn't have that option. It's that good, you guys. It's a course, it's got 12 sessions. We teach it in about 1 month's time. We usually teach 3 classes a week, get it done in a month. It's a 3-hour, each class is 3 hours. And so it's not all day or anything like that. It is that good, though. I tell people to this day, if I decided to go back into selling full-time, if I just studied that class alone as an A+ student, I'd blow everybody out of the water. The fundamentals that you learn in that class are the best around. And then, of course, we have all these other classes that help you learn at a higher level, too. In addition to in-person here, take a look behind me. We have a camera up there. So we record classes, and they're available on we have a channel basically that is for our office that you can go to and you can watch anything that you couldn't make it to that day and you missed it because you had a different work commitment or you're sick or whatever. We have them recorded so you can watch them later. There's an example of the calendar. In addition to that, that online channel that I was mentioning is what we call KW Connect. We have online learning 24/7, whether it's just a class here or all of those Keller Williams University classes are available online as well. So any class that you want to take, these were just some examples of it. The classes are available online. You can download them as a PDF. There's a ton of videos that you can watch to go along with them. So you have lots of options, whether it's in-person learning or online learning or combination kind of thing.
When did this become available to you?
When you join our office. When you join our office, we can't fully get you into our system. There's a lot of things you can come in person and watch. We can't get you into our system until we get a license number. So if there's a lag time and you're waiting for your license, or there's those 2 months that you're studying between you finished your classes and you're waiting for your state exam, you can come in and get some stuff going. I always recommend to people that studying for that state exam is #1 priority, because you don't want to get there and not pass. And I think it's 70% to pass. You have to have a 70. And then you have to wait 2 more months to get another exam or whatever. So you can certainly come in and do some of the stuff that's on the calendar. It's going to be harder to get you online access until you actually have a license center. Yes?
And none of the classes, there's a charge for that?
Oh, they are a part of being a part of KW. So I always say it's about 95% of the classes that we offer are part of that $80 monthly fee that we charge. Every once in a while, we'll have one of the best trainers in our company that will come to the Bay Area to teach, run these classes or teach something. It might be a 1-day training or a 2-day. And sometimes those are an extra $100 or $200 charge to get in front of one of our best trainers. We don't make you do that. That's kind of your choice. There's always room for more learning. 95% of it is part of what we've got going on here, and it's not extra. So great question. Okay, so you've got in-person, online, calendar is a little bit different every month. The Ignite class is definitely the first one that I recommend everybody takes. In addition to that, I think I'm gonna, nope. So I want to say one more thing before I go there. We teach Ignite a few times a year, and in between when we're teaching Ignite, we have another series for new agents called Kickstart. That's 1 class a week that has different topics in it that we have found that are the classes that new agents are most asking for. So how to search the multiple listing service and do a CMA, we have a class on that. How to do a buyer consultation, how to do a listing presentation, how to actually fill out a contract and explain it to your client, okay? What else? What are all the disclosures about? All the real estate disclosures that you have to learn and know about. We have a class on that. So we have a variety of topics that we'll teach 1 topic a week in between the Ignite class that we're teaching. So pretty much all year long you've got some kind of learning that you're doing. Does that make sense? And again, those Kickstart classes end up being once a week. It's about a 2-hour class, and we're videotaping those as well, and they're available online if you can't make one. Okay?
Are there any required classes to take?
No, I mean, so here's the thing. You're going to be an independent contractor. We can't make you take anything. We encourage you to continue to learn and grow because you're going to be better at your business. The only required ones are the ones that you have to take to get your state license. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So the way we're supporting you in your career in the first year is with our award-winning technology, which is what I'm going to go over next. That's the part that I'm going to take over from where the video ended to now. The award-winning training and education we have. We also have mentors. We have mentors that we want you to work with for your first 3 transactions to make sure you're doing all the paperwork right and getting that done. And then beyond that, you have access to coaches as well if you want to grow to a different level in your career. So let's talk about technology next. Okay, so in the video, again, it's a few years old, he talked about a platform called eEdge. We're no longer using that anymore, and we are now using a variety of tools to help our agents be more successful, frankly, than agents in any other company. So I'm going to start with this one, I suppose. You guys have heard of Siri and Alexa. That's artificial intelligence. They're considered general artificial intelligence because they know general knowledge about the world. We have Kelly, who is our artificial intelligence, it's short for Keller, and she is what they call industry-specific intelligence. And if I back up a minute, whether you've heard about this or not, we are in the beginnings of what they're calling the fourth industrial revolution, which is going to be an industrial revolution of big data and artificial intelligence. It's going to take us through the next 100 years. So it's been about 100 years since we had our last industrial revolution, and we're on the beginnings of the next one. So as a company, with Gary Keller at the top of our company, we are embracing technology and figuring out ways to use it that makes us better at what we do. We call it high tech, high touch. So our belief is that technology will never take over what a realtor's doing, only enhance how we develop our relationship with our clients. To give you an example, when you guys book a trip now or book a flight, you do it all online. There's not really a reason to use what do you call them? Travel agent. I wanted to say vacation, that was right. Right? We don't really need them anymore. You don't really need taxi drivers anymore because now you're Ubering or Lyfting everywhere, right? So our Gary Keller's goal is that there's never some app out there that takes over what a realtor's doing, okay? So we're embracing technology and using it with the idea that there's always going to be that need for a trusted real estate advisor in a transaction as well. So we do have our own artificial intelligence, and Kelly is combined with our real estate platform of technology that we're using called KW Command, which basically is an end-to-end platform for everything you need in your business. Your contact management is going to go into this platform. Your transaction management is going to go in there. Your marketing is going to go in there. Your calendar is going to go in there. Everything that you need to use to stay organized will all be in one place, and it works in conjunction with the artificial intelligence on the back end. So I'll give you a couple of real-life examples of what that means to you. Let's say as an agent you're holding an open house, and when you hold open houses, it's a very captive audience. You have buyers and sellers that are walking in because they want to do business. Okay, so believe it or not, when you hold an open house, you're actually being interviewed. So you're in there, buyers walk in, you're building rapport with them, you're asking questions, they're asking questions about the neighborhood, and you say, hey Kelly, show me a snap of this neighborhood. Kelly then immediately pulls up a market snapshot of the current neighborhood, showing all the houses that are for sale, the average sales price, average days on market, can also show insights of the neighborhood, what are the best parks around, what the school scores are, what kind of restaurants are around, all kinds of neighborhood data, and you can show that to the people and you can say, would you like me to send that to you? And they're like, yes, please. Then you capture their cell phone number because you're going to text it to them. So it's a way for you to capture information and stay in touch with them beyond the open house. So that's one example of how the artificial intelligence is helping you. Second example, let's say a seller walks into an open house and you're building rapport with them, you find out they have a house to sell down the street. You guys agree you're going to meet the following day to do a listing presentation about their property. They walk out, you say to Kelly, hey Kelly, put Mr. and Mrs. Smith into my calendar for tomorrow at 1 p.m. and start preparing the market analysis for their property at 123 Main Street. So Kelly puts them into command for you into your calendar, and she starts then pulling together the data for the market analysis while you're still at the open house meeting more people. Isn't that great? That's AI. That's where we're at the beginnings of what's going to be happening for the rest of our lives. So Kelly starts preparing the market analysis. You finish with the open house. You get to working on the presentation. Kelly's able to say to you, because of the data that has been collected, based on the location of the property, the square footage, bedroom, bathroom count, it's likely in this price range, of which you're going to verify. And I recommend, based on all of that, that you use marketing plan B as the best way to get it sold. So it might be 4 different marketing plans. Kelly's going to recommend the one that she thinks is going to work the best for you. Isn't that cool? So you get all that stuff done in preparation for you to do that meeting the next day. So she works in conjunction with Command. The third tool that we are working very hard on right now is a consumer app. So the first tools were all about you and your business. The third tool is about how do we interact with the consumer in technology these days. There's plenty of apps out there. We all have them on our phones. People, when they're searching for properties, typically currently search Zillow, Realtor.com, or Redfin are the top 3. Trulia is in there as well. We are working on a consumer app that's in the lab phase right now. They've had consumers in that lab for over a year now, making it the best app out there. And they won't even let us in the room. It's just consumers. They're testing it against the other apps, like they'll do the blind test. Our app's actually been winning all the blind tests, and pretty soon, in the next couple of months, they're going to release it to the general public with the idea it's going to be the best app out there. Gary's goal is to put Zillow out of business. So we're going to have the consumer app. It actually exists now, and you can load it on your phone and you can share it with people. It just doesn't do all the searching things that it's going to do when they do middle of the night upgrade in a few months, where you wake up and the next day it's doing all kinds of new stuff. So we're going to have that consumer app interface that also works with artificial intelligence. So I'll give you the best example on this, and then we'll move on. Anyone can download an app. So they can be connected to you, and you can share the consumer app with them, or let's just say someone downloads it on their own. And they're searching, and they're looking for properties, and they're searching and looking at all the pictures, and the artificial intelligence notices that they keep going to the kitchen picture in each property. The AI notices that and starts putting the kitchen picture first. So that it's like, if that's the picture that you need to see, and you're not going to look at that property if the kitchen doesn't look a certain way, the AI figures it out and starts putting that picture first. Isn't that crazy? And then the AI goes, I see you've been increasing your search. Would you like to talk to an expert agent in that area? And they can click yes or no, right? Well, they do that with Zillow already. What happens when you say to Zillow, yes, I would like to talk to an agent, Zillow then sells that lead to an agent, okay? There were about 5 million homes sold in the United States last year. Zillow sold 60 million leads, which means they sold a lead over and over and over again. Get what I mean? They're very low quality leads. What, in my opinion, and Gary Keller's opinion, Zillow exists because you're not staying in relationship with people who are looking to buy and sell homes. If you stay in relationship, there's no reason for them to go to Zillow, right? Okay, tangent. So, so the app says, would you like to talk to an agent? And they click yes. Who's going to get the leads from our app? KW agents are going to get it. Nobody else. And it's not extra, it's all part of that package. And how are you as a brand new agent going to get a lead over an agent who's been around 20 years? Well, there's going to be a couple filters. There'll be production filters. There's also going to be a filter where if you're putting insights into the neighborhood, because through the Kelly artificial intelligence, you can add insights, best dog park around, school scores, best Mexican restaurant, whatever you want to put in as your favorite insights into neighborhoods, it puts you up higher in the rankings for getting leads from the app. So you can be brand new and do a ton of insights and get leads over somebody who's been around 20 years who hasn't been putting insights in. Does that make sense? So it levels the playing field for everybody. Okay? So that's just, those are the cool artificial intelligence stuff we're teaching everybody now, or all the, sorry, not just AI, technology things that we're teaching. These are all brand new features that we've been teaching people for about the last year. So once you guys get your license, you're not going to be behind in any way. You're going to be able to be right there learning it with everyone else. Okay? You also get a website with us, and that's another part of the $80 a month. So the goal with us is to make sure you have all the tools that you need without it costing extra money to go out there and pay someone else for it. End-to-end platform that we're providing for you. Now, on to marketing. We have an amazing marketing that we also help you with. The most important thing for me to mention here is that we believe in agent-first branding. Okay? Again, Keller Williams believes we stand behind you, not in front of you. So you're actually allowed to brand yourself in your business. So business cards, real estate signs, all of your presentations, flyers, if you have a certain look in mind, you're allowed to do that with us. You have to identify KW in the corner of your branding for legal purposes. You have to identify your brokerage, but it doesn't have to be the focal point of everything. Okay? So what this graph is showing you is that 42% of buyers and 39% of sellers found their agent through a referral. 69% of buyers, 72% of sellers only contacted one agent, and only 2% of buyers and 4% of sellers said that the agent's affiliation with a company was the reason why they chose that agent. They're picking you because of who you are. So I've done with 3 different real estate companies in my career. My people have always followed me. They don't care which company I'm with. So it's important for you to be with a company that allows you to be who you are, and you don't have to have their big name up there. Does that make sense? Okay. We have amazing marketing that will provide you, as well as In Command, which is that end-to-end platform that we have for you. There's a ton of marketing in there that you're going to be able to use to create your flyers and that kind of stuff. So you'll be in great shape with marketing. On to culture. Okay, that's another big part of who we are as a company. I mentioned to you that our top agents give back by sharing what they do when they're here in the classroom. It's a big part of our culture. I know there's a lot going on this wall right now because we've been having a listing contest. If you ignore all the pictures, right there is our belief system: win-win, integrity, customers first, commitment, communication, creativity, teamwork, trust, and success through others. That plays out in our office every single day. That's part of the reason why our top agents are giving back by teaching and making sure we're all growing. So it's another important part of our culture, and that's something as you're exploring companies you want to make sure you're checking out as well. I talked about KW Cares a little bit. I'll come back to it and just explain a couple of examples of this part of our culture. So we have one of our divisions is called KW Cares. We do community service throughout the year. This is showing you a picture of Red Day, which is our International Day of Giving Back. Every Keller Williams office closes its doors the second Thursday in May, and we all go out and do community service in our local communities. So that's one of our amazing giving back days. We're actually starting, and the agents don't know this yet, we're going to do a super cool thing. I'm getting chills thinking about it. Starting in a couple weeks. On Fridays, we're going to be going to the SPCA and having our agents take pictures with pets that need a home. And the hashtag is going to be something like, we don't just help people find homes. Isn't that cool? So that's going to be another outreach thing that we've decided to do as an office. And, that way you get your picture taken with a pet, and we post it all over social media, and then you post it, and it makes you look super cool, right? And you're helping pets find homes as well as people. So that's different fun things that the office decides to do. In addition to that, the other piece of what I love about KW Cares is that we also help our own in times of need. So we raise money throughout the year, that kind of thing. And an example of that would be last year during the Paradise Fires. We have an office in Chico. We had agents who lost their homes, lost their listings, lost their buyer escrows because everything burned up. We immediately had funds available to those people through KW Cares so that they could get a hotel room, start buying some clothing, and start repairing their lives. That's a horrible example, but it's there. A more simple example might be you have an unexpected medical bill, something happened that you need some help with. There's grant money available that you can apply for to help in times of need like that. So that's a pretty cool part of our company as well. We also have a wellness program. Basically, there was a point in the video when Gary Keller talked about having associate leadership councils. It's another part. Our agents get to be a part of the leadership and help make decisions for the company. So our agents come up with ideas to do different community service projects throughout the year. If the agents want to do something with the wellness program, there's resources available there too. And then finally, the last part is the wealth building. So I mentioned to you a little bit about real estate. The cool thing about real estate is that it helps you develop streams of income. You've got your first stream of income, which is you helping people buy and sell property, right? Once you start learning the nuances of that, you may go, wow, this is a great deal. I want to invest in that property. So it allows you a second stream of income, which is you become an investor. Third stream of income is the referral fee income that I mentioned, where you can refer in and out and get paid just from referral fees. And then a fourth stream of income that you have available to you here at Keller Williams is that we also have profit sharing. So very simply, economically, how that works, agents bring money into the office every month when they close a deal. You keep your portion of that money, which is your split. There's a portion that goes to the owners, right? That portion we pay our bills every month with, and then what's left over is our profit. So bring money in, pay your bills, what's left over is profit. In the Keller Williams system, the owners share back 48% of the profits with those agents who helped grow the office. And that's any office. So when you join a KW office, you're going to be asked to name the person most responsible for bringing you here. Your aunt, right? Likely you're somebody that brought you here. And then every time you close a deal, and we're profitable that month, your aunt gets a profit share check because she brought it to us, right? So, and that works not just in this office. You could have a cousin in Florida, again, that joins the KW office in Florida and name you as the reason. Every time that cousin closes a deal in Florida and that office is profitable that month, you get a profit share check from Florida. So So, we
Is
have,
that the only way you get profit sharing?
yes, it is to help bring people to the company. You love the company, you start talking it up, and you tell people this is the company you need to join. So again, the owners share about 48% of their profits every month, and the average amount of money that people make a year who actually help us grow is around $5,000. We don't make you do it; it's not a requirement. If you're choosing to help bring people to the company, average amount is $5,000. We have people earning $50,000, $100,000. We have people earning $1 million in profit a year because of them bringing people to the company, and not really that many people. So it just depends on the profit. Does that make sense? So this is showing the amount of money that's been given out over the last few years in profit share. We're over the $1 billion mark this year now. And that's it. Lots of information. Hopefully that was a good overview for you guys. Does anybody have any final questions?
If you go more into like commercial, luxury, realty?
What is it? Those are a lot of different things. What are you interested in?
What's the commercial?
So Keller Williams has a commercial division. To do commercial real estate, you've got to take extra classes to do that. So if it's something you're interested, definitely start with your residential real estate license and get the hang of that, and then we can point you towards the commercial classes that you would need to take to do commercial real estate. Commercial real estate is very different than residential, so it definitely requires more training.
What is the commercial real estate?
So that would be selling or buying something that is commercial property, like a store,
Okay.
or it's something over 4 units big. So you could have a fourplex, and that's considered residential. As soon as it becomes apartment buildings of 5 units or higher, it's considered a commercial deal. There's different loans involved and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Luxury is really just a price point.
Okay.
And we have a luxury label, so if we have agents that are selling in more higher-end neighborhoods, then there's marketing that's geared towards higher-end that you can work with as well.
And do you need to do more education for each one?
Commercial for sure, yes. Luxury is might be a little bit of education to do. It's more getting involved in the marketing that goes along with the different things. So there's different niche markets. Even like farm and ranch, you're going to learn different nuances because you're dealing with bigger properties or land in those situations.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
I had mentioned that I would go into the California Realty Training site. Do you guys want me to do that real quick? Or?
I have a quick
Yeah.
question.
While you're asking, can I get that loaded?
Yeah, for new agents, what would you say after getting your license and starting? What's the ramp-up time? And
It so varies from agent to agent and how, and if you're full-time or part-time and that sort of thing. I have a part-time agent here who works at Kaiser as well, just single mom with 4 kids, and she has her benefits from Kaiser. She had a deal going in the first month, so it depends on how you're working it, how hard you're working, and what plan you want to be on. So it can be very quickly, or it can take a while depending. The best way I can say it is we're here to support you, but we can't want it more than you do. So if you're bringing it and you want it, we're going to be there to help you get it. Does that help? Does that make sense? Any other questions? This is the California Realty Training site. This little, what we call a hamburger, is their drop-down menu. Okay, it's loading. Sorry, hold on a second.
The material needed as far as the book will be from California Realty Training Guide.
Here we go. So look at that. Salesperson license, it can start at $155. Online video combo, and then they have a crash course thing. The in-person, I feel like I need to get to here. Okay, so if you go to the drop-down menu, and it says real estate licenses, and we just click on salesperson, then it's going to show you the different options if you scroll down. There's single course, $75. Remember, you need 3 of them. Or there's the in-class online option, which is the $400 option. Or you can do the package of online classes for $155. So they have different options for you there. They have a phone number there. They're really easy to get in touch with and ask questions, and then you can call them to come and do a free class to check it out at night. Did I answer that question or not?
I just wanted to know, like, the book that we should read, is it provided, like,
Mhm.
once we sign up?
Yeah.
Or can we just go to the bookstore and buy it?
No, you gotta order it from them, or whichever company you choose to work from, they're gonna send you their books.
But this is the one you guys...
Yeah, that is the same as what I'm showing you
Okay.
here.
I was gonna say,
Same question?
no, that they provided it,
Yeah.
because, and I,
Are you using them or are you using a different company?
no, I use Quick Learning for my insurance, thing, and I really didn't like it.
Okay,
I mean, I passed the test, but I
and
didn't,
that's the one that's in Milpitas now. Prior, it was in downtown San Jose.
right,
Okay.
and I just felt like, I was taught to the test completely, and I didn't really learn anything about the real world.
Well, and I'm gonna say, I don't know that it's much different with the real estate process either. They're teaching you how to pass that state exam, and that's why we're a company that provides a ton more training once you're done. Because it's gonna teach you the basics, the legalities, some basic law of real estate. Doesn't really teach you how to be a business owner and how to lead generate and how to get out there and get business, and that's what we're gonna teach you. When you're in real estate, what you're actually selling is you. The byproduct is the house or the property that is sold. You're selling, why should someone work with me versus another agent? And so that's what we teach you, is how to create your own value proposition and why someone should work with you. We teach you how to lead generate and develop a plan for the ways you want to lead generate. And again, here's the thing, the license, the reason why the 3-class thing exists for you to take your license is because we have to have a weeder process. If you can't pass 3 classes and then pass the state exam, which really is not that, it's very entry level to get into this career. You can't do all of that, maybe this isn't the career for you. You're about to make more money than a doctor makes who studies for 12 years and probably $200,000 worth of bills. And you're going to spend around $600 to get a license and be able to make more money. So it's very easy to get in, and then you want to get extra education so that you actually become one of the realtors who does a good job and makes a lot of money. Because it's what we call the 80-20 rule, which is right here on this poster. 20% of the agents out there are doing 80% of the business and earning 80% of the money. Okay? So we want to make you be part of that top 20%, cream of the crop. Make sense? And it's this is the best company to do that. We're the only company out there that's won best training and education company over and over and over again. So great company. I love it here. It's been the best, of the 3 companies I was with, definitely the best one, and so I can't recommend it enough. So with that said, if you guys have people that you know that are part of Keller Williams, ask them questions. And then I have everybody's contact information, yes? So I will stay in touch with you. I am not super bugging you kind of person. You'll get an email from me about once a month. You've already been getting emails from me. And so I don't bug you a lot. What I do appreciate is if you would let me know when you're at the point to take the state exam, because then I want to set up a time to meet with you one-on-one so we can talk about whether this is the right office for you and you're a good fit for you. Okay?
The next step is signing up with the office.
So the next step would be meeting with me, and we have an interview and talk about your goals and talk about creating a plan. You decide to join this office, and we decide you're the right fit for this office. Then we have what we call an onboarding process, and you meet with a different person in the office, and you're going to do an hour to an hour and a half worth of paperwork, and you're part of the office. Okay? All right. Any other questions? We went a little over on time because you guys were great and asked a lot of questions, so thank you so much. Hopefully I can read everybody's writing, and thank you for being here. And I'll walk up front, and for those of you who didn't get a calendar yet, I'm happy to give you one. And then the email that you guys get from me